What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We're back with another HBCU OverDrive live show. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I got my work badge on. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Everything HBCU OverDrive. Woo! Look, bro, I just got in the house. Just got in the house from work, and man, look, I am basically so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Look, we got the post game show. Um, let's see. All right, going ahead and get my co-host up in here. Hey Terry, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it, Terry. Trust me, we gonna talk about that. How you doing today? How you doing today? There you go, Brian. You want to jump in? Let me get this all fixed up right here. What's going on, sir?
How you doing, my brother? And blessings to you and to Lady Holiday.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you. We we are in here. It is cold. It is,
It's cold there where you are, Dallas, in Texas.
and it dipped down. It got to like uh uh low 50s, but it was like
What's that? I can't. I didn't hear you. Sorry about that.
I said it was about 30 degrees. It dipped down last night,
Oh yeah,
man.
that shit's
It
it.
it
Shit, you should come to Canada. That's about as cold as I up here.
it dipped down. I was like, I don't know if I can do. I'm like, I see why my cousin is. He came home last night because I think the CFLs finished their season off.
Yeah,
So
the
I think he
Hamilton
finished
lost.
his.
They lost last week, I think, to Montreal.
Yeah, so he back. He came back home last night. So, but yeah, man. Look, I already know what people gonna talk about. Man, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. It, it is a good day, even though we clinched the Easter division. We got some stuff to talk about today because that was
Oh,
that
atrocious.
was the most that was the ugliest game I have ever seen Jackson State play. And and as always, we're gonna get into the rest of these games too. Um, we're gonna get into the rest of these games, but uh, my my first game on the list is like I said, we're gonna give love to these B2 schools. So, so first school on the list, Tuskegee, Benedict, the SIAC championship. Hold
Yes,
on 1 second.
Benedict won. I told you. I had Benedict. Yes, yes.
Benedict,
Went
Benedict did
undefeated.
win. Hold on. They are undefeated, so they are going into the playoffs.
Nice.
They are going into the playoffs on an 11 game winning streak.
Congratulations to
11 game
Benedict's
winning.
football team.
Oh yeah, they are having one hell of a season. And the way that they played, it should have been how Jack State played today. But you got to be able to grind it out in certain situations. Um, you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to get yourselves over the hump. Um, So you need games like this. You do need ugly games like this. I'm not even gonna say you don't, but you do. And see, we still got a game that's going on right now. Grambling is down to Texas Southern 21-7. They still got 12 minutes left in the third quarter.
Oh shit.
Also with the CIAA championship, y'all, Fayetteville State comes out on top against Chowan. Like I said, I
I
called
had
this.
Fayetteville.
You had Fayetteville. I called this
Yeah.
and I said it was gonna be hard for Chowan to beat the team again, the same team
Yeah.
again. I had this game right here. I don't know if I think I had it close. I think I
Yeah.
did have it close. I didn't.
Well, I think we both had it close.
So I know it wasn't gonna be no. I knew it wasn't gonna be no blowout. uh, I just knew it wasn't gonna be a blowout. So, congratulations to Fayetteville State. So they're gonna streak into the playoffs also. So you got a couple of teams from the CIAA that's going to get into that playoff system. Fayetteville State, you got Virginia Union. I think you got Virginia State might squeak in there. Chowan. So you got a couple of teams that's going to make it into the D2 playoffs, and it's going to be very interesting. What's up, Val?
Is that our guy Bill?
Yeah, Val on here.
What's up, Bill?
So yeah, we just to cap it all off, man. It was just basically an interesting day in all of college football and basically in college football, y'all. So it wasn't like somebody was surprised or anything like that. We'll get into the MEAC in a little bit, and then we'll jump right into the SWAC. And I'm going to say, as far as for the SWAC goes, what I saw on 2 games today, just flipping through. But I watched Jackson State and Alabama A&M all the way through. So, but before I watched the game, that FAMU Bama State game was atrocious.
Oh, was it?
Oh my God! It was like you wanted to. It was like you wanted to pull teeth. That game was. If Mr. Campbell was on here, he'll tell you it was bad. He actually said it on. I think he kind of told us on Sweat Buzz earlier during his halftime show that that game was terrible. And just by looking at it looked like nobody wanted to win.
Jeez.
Vels, you stupid, bro. How you gonna be
You froze up.
Okay, I hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Some other thing. But anyway, ooh. And Andrew Body having a good game today. Anyway, we're gonna get first game, man. Look, we're gonna get into the first game for today. in the MEAC. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I said I wasn't gonna do it again after they got their head blown off by North Carolina Central, but I said that Howard was going to beat South Carolina State, and for the simple fact that Corey Fields didn't even play in the game today, and they started a true freshman at quarterback. Y'all, this was a recipe for disaster, y'all. This was a recipe for disaster. So, yeah. So yeah. South Carolina State starts true freshman Prometheus Franklin II. Um, I don't know if he'll be the actual starter for next season because I'm looking at SC State going out to try to find themselves an actual quarterback, somebody that actually can that actually can get the ball down the field past 20 yards. He was 6 of 16, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was also your leading rusher with 44 yards on the ground. Shaq Davis had a quiet day, 3 receptions of 88 yards. This was a total domination by Howard. And what I mean by Howard, by total domination, the best thing that they did was take the ball out of Quentin Williams' hands. Point blank. Take a ball out of his hands and run. They ran the ball for almost 300 yards as a team. That is the best thing that Howard has done in a while. And I think they should stick with this game plan for the last game of the season. Now, what does it say for Howard in the standings that they win next week? They will be co-champs with North Carolina Central, and they won't be over 500, but they will be co-champs of the conference. That ain't saying too much or anything, but it's Howard. Is Howard. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it in the atmosphere, y'all. I'm just putting in the atmosphere of what's going on with Howard, what's going on with the MEAC to be precise. So now, we're gonna segue into the next game, man. The next game is Morgan State versus Delaware State. Morgan State 37, Delaware State 7. I watched this game. I pretty much turned it off because it looked like State was getting bodied out there on the field. Even though Morgan State couldn't move the ball, Delaware State, as far as the rushing goes, they couldn't move the ball worth damn. And with the reason and why I'm leaning by not they couldn't move the ball. Hey Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm looking at the game and the stats. I'm surprised they won
Yeah,
with
and I'm
the
about to
future
read these
stats.
stats off, and you, oh my goodness.
That's crazy. You look at stats like this and you think a team would lost.
Hell, right. Morgan State held Delaware State 39 carries, -5 yards, with a .01% 0.01 yards per carry.
Wow. It was an ugly day all around, it seemed like in football today.
That is the ugly. I'm telling y'all, that is the ugliest stat that I have ever seen. I was so I don't know. I was so distraught when I was at work, and I looked at it. I turned away. Like I turned away. I'm like, damn. Everybody looking at me like, what's going on? What's wrong, Dad? What's wrong? I'm looking at this game, looking at this stats. Like, how am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to go right here on YouTube and give stats like that? I can't. I can't. So Morgan State finish off next week against Howard. So basically, if Howard loses, they don't get co-champion. If they win, they are co-champions with North Carolina Central. And because North Carolina Central beat them, North Carolina Central automatically goes to the Celebration Bowl. So, like I said, oh Lord, here come this troll again. Hey man, if you're gonna troll, you got to pay the toll.
This is that. Yeah, just block him, man. Get me one of those. Get me the thing so I can help block you too, man.
Oh yeah. No, you. Of course. I got you, Brian.
Yeah, because this guy is talking the same old crap all the time. You know, enough's enough. Enough's enough. He he probably lives. He probably lives in a 1-bedroom place with his mom.
All right, you a
He
moderator
got nothing
now.
better to do. All right, let me throw him up the club.
Yeah, Wayne. Hey, Wayne. Howard is going to be Morgan State. I think they're on the road. They know what they are. They know that they know who they are as a team now. So, they know who they are as a team. So, hopefully they'll be able to go into the off season and kind of go on, come away with something from this out for this off season with the last two, couple of games that they played. And it should be good for them. This should be a good, good thing for them especially when it comes into, when it comes into the recruiting. And last but not least, North Carolina Central destroying Norfolk State 48-14. I'm sorry, Mr. Mr. Willie Murray. Your Spartans got obliterated by the Persians, aka North Carolina Central.
Yeah, but we knew that was happening. We know there was no way in heck that there were. Yeah, I'm surprised they got 14 points. To be honest with you,
I was surprised they did get 14 points. I was surprised about that. And
because we were
Davis
calling the
Rashard,
murder.
hey,
We were calling the murder on this one the other night.
oh yeah, we did. I don't know why I even said I was gonna give a score for this game right here. Davis Rashard, man, 22 of 31, 347, 4 TDs, and 1 interception. Hey, hey,
Excuse me.
that man right there is a dog. he is a pure dog.
I'm telling you one thing. I'm not going to jump too far ahead, but it seems like a collision course with North Carolina Central and Jackson State. If Jackson State plays the way they did today, they're going to get disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the quarterback for North Carolina Central can hit the open receiver.
Oh my goodness. And he can run the ball.
And he can run the ball.
We talking about a dude that's like 6'1", 6'2", a good solid 220. They say he's like 210, 215. No, my dude like a good solid 220. He's built like Steve McNair.
Yeah, and I watched a couple of games, you know what I mean, because the more and more the interest or the highly possibility they're going to play JSU, and I started watching a little bit of film on him, and he's impressive.
Oh
he's
yeah,
impressive.
He's very impressive. I give it to him.
The only thing with North Carolina Central, if they fall behind, they're not a good team to come back. But if they
No.
get, they're great front runners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you seen it when they play
Campbell.
Campbell. So you saw when they played Campbell, they couldn't come back because Campbell basically jumped on them from the start. Um,
Their secondary is not that great. You know what I
nah,
mean? Because Campbell, exploited him and they ran on him too. But offensively, they're affordable opponent. We'll say that.
yeah.
But our defense has
But
been
like I
giving up some.
said,
You know what I mean? Anyways, we'll get to that conversation later. Go ahead.
but
I'm
yeah.
gonna
So
have a sip.
so yeah, we look. SC State and Norfolk State is playing for the Garbage Bowl of the MEAC. Howard and Morgan is playing for who's going to come in second. Um, Delaware State has finished off its MEAC competition, so they are playing. They play Campbell this week, next weekend, and just North Carolina Central is just sitting high. They just they got to play Tennessee Tech. They'll probably win that game, and then they'll be they'll be ready for Jackson State. I'm gonna just say it just like that. I'm gonna just say it just like that.
And you're right.
So now we're about to get to these SWAC games, the ones that had just finished earlier. So first on the list, man, look, I've already said I had Valley. I had Valley winning the game at the time. I watched this game. Valley did show me some. Valley showed some promise, y'all. It's not like Valley didn't just gave up. Because this game was 21-7 at halftime. No, 20-20. It was 20-0 at halftime, and then basically Valley scored, and then they Southern scored. So they Valley held Southern to well under their point total. Y'all know that. Um, they also held them under their rushing total as a team because when you run the ball for 40 carries for 109 yards with only a 2.7 yards per carry against a team that's pretty much basically the bottom feeders of the SWAC, that is good. They did. Valley did their job limiting the rushing yards. Passing, they had three. Southern had three. All three quarterbacks play. They had Bubba McDaniel started for Southern. Bashawn McCray came in threw a touchdown pass, and Harold Blood came in threw for 60 yards with no touchdowns. The best thing about this was Southern, they didn't have no turnovers. They didn't have no interceptions. They did fumble the ball once. So that was, I mean, other than that, they had a pretty good, solid, clean, almost a solid, clean game. Now, what does this do for Valley? They go into, they play Prairie View next week, and basically, what our HBCU band talk, basically, they're gonna make sure they're gonna try to spoil Prairie View's attempt to go to the SWAC championship game. I mean, that's all they can do. That is all Valley can do. What Southern's gonna do is gonna take their lumps. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
They're not going nowhere. So they'll take this game unless Prairie View trips up next week. And let Prairie View trips up next week, and Southern can beat Grambling, then Southern will be in the SWAC championship game. That's the only way that Southern can actually get it to this dang on game. And also,
What happens if Southern loses and Prairie View loses? Is Texas Southern still in the running?
Now Texas Southern can beat Grambling. They will probably still be in the running, but because they still got
They
they
beat
got
Grambling, right?
they'll be
The
they
game.
Texas Southern is winning against Grambling right now.
Yeah.
But Texas Southern has a win against Southern. They have a win against Alcorn. They also have a win against Alabama State. And trying to see who else they have a win against. That's it. And then they only 3 losses is against PV, um,
So I think if PV
Alabama,
loses,
and Jackson.
so if PV loses, Southern loses, and Texas Southern wins, PV gets in on the tiebreaker because they beat Texas Southern.
Yeah, they beat well, they eliminate Texas Southern. But if Southern loses, oh, that's it. Southern don't get in. Yeah, you Southern doesn't get in. Um,
Because it's
then you
still it
still
could
have
be.
Alcorn. Then you still have Alcorn in a running.
Yeah, but Alcorn plays Jackson State next week,
That is true.
and so the well, you know what Alcorn's we know what Alcorn's going to do is run the ball, 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 and run the ball. With their back there,
They don't have
that's a
no
big
quarterback
void.
now.
No, I know, no quarter. That's why they're going to keep running the ball.
Yep. Um.
The thing with
Now
Valley
let's see.
too,
We get
the thing with Mississippi Valley, their quarterback also. You know what I mean? I was just looking at the stats. Here's a guy that passes for just as much as he runs, and so that's an issue. So if he passed for 16 times and he runs 11 times, you know what I mean? That's not a recipe to win.
right.
So it's I watched a couple of games with the young man, and they're doing their best. Easton, he is a dynamic runner, but he's a terrible quarterback. He's a terrible thrower of the ball. You know,
Mm-hmm. So now we got Bethune Cookman and Alcorn. Alcorn comes out with a squeaker on this
uh,
one, 17 to
man,
14.
I was watching that game, and Bethune Cookman, they lost the game, and I didn't see it all the game, and I watched it just up until Jackson State got on HBCU Go, which is a great. We all know it's
Mm-hmm.
great broadcasting from there, great production. And Bethune Cookman is like, man, Jalen Jones. Oh man, they fumbled the ball. I think it was 3 or 4 times they fumbled the ball consecutively. It was
Oh
terrible.
yeah,
It was
I'm
terrible.
looking at it
You know
right
what I mean?
now.
Yeah, they had opportunities. You know what I mean? And Alcorn was, I think it was 14-10 at one time, or 14 whatever. Yeah, it was. I think it was 14-10 at one time or something like that. But they're just ah, they you know what I mean? They play hard. The defense played hard. They stopped Alcorn on a lot of situations. But geez, Jalen Jones, when he gets in trouble, he goes to his right. Every time he gets in trouble, he goes to his right.
Yep, you gotta watch tendencies like that. I just, to me, I'm just thinking Bethune is just ready to get this season over with because like they literally have not been home most like majority of this season. Like and like I don't think they have been home. They've been on the road for dang near the almost the entire season. They started out on the road against Miami. They played a home game against South Carolina State. They played a home game against Grambling. Um, was this a home game? I want to make sure this was a home game. Yeah, that was a home game. They was on the road against Tennessee State. They was literally up the road in Jacksonville against Jackson State. They played on the road in Valley. They was on the road at Prairie View. I think when they played Alabama State, I think that was the first time within almost 2 months that they was not on the road. Then you go back on the road again because you had to leave early because of the tropical storm. So they got to Jackson, practicing Jackson, then got to Alcorn, and then the last game of the season, they're gonna be in Orlando, which is a neutral site, but still, these guys have not seen the house for only seen the house 3 times. Or maybe, probably 3 times.
But sometimes it can work in your favor when you're like obviously you like to play at home in front of your home crowd. You hear the roar of the crowd and stuff like that. But when you're on the road, your focus should be one thing is the game. And so you're
True.
all together. You're supposed to be a close net. You're spending time with each other all the time. So you're building that bond and that chemistry. So that sometimes could be beneficial to you. But in this case, it wasn't for them.
Right.
But I don't think they were. I think they had good chemistry. They just didn't have good quarterback play.
Yeah. And I don't think nobody needs to. I don't think the AD Reggie Theus. I don't think he needs to fire Terry Sims because with all the trials that they have been going through this season, like he needs one more year under his belt. Like,
No,
and
Reggie
I bet
Reggie Theus should just exactly show him confidence. You know what I mean? With everything that
show him
happened,
confidence.
adverse conditions. The thing is that you want to look at a team. If a team quits, it's one thing. Then the message is not getting through to the players. But if the team's still playing hard, and Bethune Cookman, every game that I've seen them
Right.
play, they play hard.
Yep. So they Alcorn. I mean, look, Alcorn don't have a quarterback. I think Aaron Allen got hurt. So he's out for the rest of the season. They're playing with I think they're playing with a freshman QB. In Lawrence, Trey Lawrence. He's a sophomore, but um, I can't say really think anything bad about him because he really he got the job done. That's all it. That's all that matters. So like, you get the job done, you move on. Now you get ready for the Soul Bowl. You get ready for Jackson State to come down to Lorman, and try to see what you can do against Jackson State. Now this game, the season ain't a wash. Um, but if you go out there, you try hard, then you can go into the next season with the confidence and say, "Hey, I can actually hang with these guys right here." But as always, look, they let Alcorn lives or die by Jarvion Howard.
Yeah,
He
he's a
is
good
the head
back.
of the
He
snake.
is a good back.
He's a good back. He is the head of the snake. They live and die by this guy right here.
Yeah.
So, so now if I'm Jackson State, that's who I'm keying in on. I'm probably cutting by 7, 8 in the box. Your receiver gonna have to beat me 1-on-1.
Oh yeah.
And it's
And
mano y
they,
mano.
but Jackson State's got to tackle better because the last couple of games I'm watching, their tackling hasn't been as good as it's been at the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? A lot of missed tackles. And there's been big runs. There's been big runs. There's been plays that usually that they get to that there's been big runs on them the last couple of games. And teams so what teams are going to watch film and say, hey, and run on them
Texas
because you
Southern,
definitely can't pass on them.
yeah, they can't pass on. Texas Southern is up right now, 27-7, with 4:35 left in the third quarter. This game is on ESPN Plus. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. The next game on my list, like I said, this game was so atrocious that I wanted to throw my damn phone away because it felt nasty. uh, this game right here, y'all. FAMU versus Alabama State. Um, the game by far was, I mean, it was a good game. I mean, it was a great crowd there today. So
Sold out, probably
attendance
sell out.
almost sold out. It was almost 24,000 in there. So hey,
Nice.
they did. They was trying to get up for this game right here, but it was just the play. I'm talking about both of the teams was tied 7-7 at halftime. Fam gets a safety. They get a team safety, so that makes it 9-7 at the end of the third quarter. Then Kale Jackson basically they blocked the punt and returned it 50 yards for the to give them to Bama State to give themselves the lead 14-9. Then you go ahead and with 4 minutes left in the game, John Murray Sharee uh, gets a 17-yard pass from Jeremy Musa. So that makes it 15-9. So basically, they try to go for 2 points, and they couldn't get the 2-point conversion. And at the end of the game, Kendall Bowler blocks a field goal and returns it 51 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm just reading that now. Wow. So this game was close.
This game was close. And what we were saying about FAMU, talking about they want to get it, they trying to get into the playoffs because of the simple fact that they own a 8-game winning streak now. You have to. We said it before. These games, because the way that you lost to Jackson State, you lost to them by 56. Any team that's supposed to you're supposed to be pissed. You're supposed to be mad and pissed because you got blown out by one of your rivals in Jackson at the beginning of the season. So basically, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be mad, pissed off, and you're supposed to go on this run. But during this run, you're supposed to be beating the brakes off of everybody. And I ain't talking about no 10-point or 14, 20-point victory. I'm talking about you supposed to be blowing these dudes out by 30, 40, 50 points. That is the mentality you're supposed to have just because you got your ass handed to you by pretty much the number one team in all of black college football. So that's the mentality that you need that FAMU needed to have. And every game that you see after the Jackson State game, okay, you beat Albany State by 10. You beat Alabama A&M by 13. You kind of manhandled Mississippi Valley. You beat them by 27. You gave a close. You come out close with South Carolina State. Beat them by 6. Really, this game, and then this game right here the next week, you should have lost to Grambling in the hole, but you came out with a victory. You won by 4. You beat Pine Bluff by 21. You beat Southern by 14, and then you come into this game and you damn near almost laid a damn egg. That's how bad this game was, y'all. It was so bad that the audio coming from the Alabama State Sports Network was trash. They didn't have no type of audio. And I'm gonna say it was trash. You got a problem with me? Hey, you come on to the show and tell me. But it was trash. Just like the play on the field, it was trash from both squads. Like if defensive wise, Alabama State kind of did their job. They kind of did their job, which I can't really even fault them for it because they played a hell of a game defensively, y'all. Hell of a game.
Musa threw 3 picks.
He threw 3 picks. I told you, Musa gonna get you 3 picks, or at least 2, because Oh my god! And this thing, I'm telling people, Xavier Smith is going to get his. He got 13 receptions for 145 yards and one touchdown. You're supposed to make the other receivers try to work to get theirs. You're supposed to basically turn Musa into a one progression type quarterback. If he don't see Xavier, he ain't gonna throw it to. He gonna try to force it into him. Like you literally have to basically like X
You
out
got,
Xavier Smith.
yeah, you got to roll the coverage over to him, double team him.
Yes, yes. Come up with some sort of blitz. Like you come up with a blitz, and that's what Bama State did today. They pretty much almost. If you really think about it, looked at the game, they pretty much rolled out almost the same exact defensive game plan that they did when they played Jackson State. And they kept the game close. One thing I did like about FAMU, Jalen McLeod, he ran for 62 yards. They ran for 107 yards as a team, even though it still sucks.
Yeah. But you
Like,
get over 100 yards, it's still not bad, especially for FAMU where they haven't been getting close to 100 yards. They've been
right.
pretty putrid as far as their running game, so
Thank
that's
you.
a good plus. But you can't turn the. You know what? They're lucky to. You said, like you said, they're lucky to get out of there with a victory, turning the ball over 3 times.
Hmm. And if you think this game was bad, that game next week when they play Bethune at the Florida Classic, it's gonna be worse because Bethune is gonna get up on that game right there. Bethune is going to get themselves up for that game. That is their Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I have no confidence in Jalen Jones whatsoever.
Hey, I wouldn't say I don't have no confidence. I just thinking like I don't know. I
He's
think he's ready. He's ready. They were ready to get that season over with.
Yeah, they're like it's like we always been stating all year. You look at the top quarterbacks, and it's obviously Shador's way above Andrew Body. Number two, and I'm just talking swag. Musa third, and the rest you can just throw in a pile.
And then with Alabama State, your quarterback play is atrocious.
Yeah, Davis, 5'8", you know what I mean? Can't see over the line.
It is atrocious. So this is what Alabama State gonna need to do next next season. Y'all better go and get that damn playbook from
Yeah, you
Atlanta
can get a
Park,
playbook.
Georgia.
You can go get a playbook, you know what I mean, that maybe fit his style. But I think what you need to do is go if there's a quarterback in the transfer portal that's a little bit better than what you got right now. I'm looking for either that or you're not going to get a freshman to replace him. But if there's somebody that you can recruit to come in there, I'm definitely looking at that position because their defense is stout.
Yeah, their defense is stout. I'm not even gonna lie to you on that. Their defense is stout, and they got Pine Bluff next week. Bama State, they got Pine Bluff next week. Basically, the game is that's an automatic win right there. And then last on my list before we get to the Jackson State game, is Prairie and Pine Bluff. Prairie and Pine Bluff. The Prairie. Hey, I don't know what to say. Prairie, two major losses that they had against Southern and against Alcorn. Um, I don't know, man. like like I don't know, man. It's something about that those two losses, like, and those are major losses because Southern came in there and waxed you. Y'all probably won the fight, but they came in and waxed you on that football field. They beat you by 30 on that football field. And then the Alcorn, um, there were a couple of things that you did that you gave the game away to Alcorn because Alcorn wasn't supposed to win that game. The way that Prairie View has been playing, there's no way that Alcorn was supposed to win that game. There's no way that Southern was supposed to came there and blast y'all by 30. There was no way they were supposed to do all of that. So y'all really supposed to be 8-2 right now and pretty much undefeated in the West. But you let that Southern game, you let ego and you let them punk you on the field. On the field. They did what they were supposed to do on the field. All right. And then Alcorn, it's always something about Fred McNair. I'm just saying, it's always something about Fred McNair that he gets his kids to play to, what I'm saying, not just for the school, but for him. And this game was a mismatch after the end of the first quarter because it was 10-7 Pine Bluff. From the second quarter all the way through the rest of the game, this game was a whole mismatch. And in fact, if you really think about it, Prairie View supposed to be scored about 65 points on these boys right here. 60, a little bit over 60. Going through the stats, Prairie View. Trayvon Conley, 8 of 15, 193 yards, 5 touchdowns passing, 0 interceptions. That is the best thing that he has done all season. Is the interceptions. No interceptions for today.
Well, you're giving up 24 points to the Pine Bluff. You know what I mean? It's not going to look good when you play Jackson State because basically, I think they secured their position in the West almost. You know what I mean? It's like 90%.
It's 90%.
Yeah.
So yeah, he actually did look like a quarterback today. That's cool. He also had 25 yards on the ground, so he really didn't have to do too much rushing. But these as a team had almost 500 yards of total offense. Almost 500 yards of total offense. They ran as a team for 281 yards with 2 touchdowns. 5.4 yards per carry as a team. And then we still not going to say too much anything bad about their defense because Bubba McDowell, I think he's the de facto defensive coordinator for the team. He has his guys ready to play on the defensive side of the ball. Pine Bluff, man, like I said, Pine Bluff, find you a coach. Find you a coach. You might have to start hitting. You probably gonna have to hit that transfer portal hard. Hit the transfer portal hard. Hit it. Get into the high school ranks. You have to because that's the only way you'll be able to. That would be the only way that you'll be able to salvage anything, salvage some sort of pride that you have. But the main thing is, what's that?
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
But the main thing is for them to find them a coach, and then find a quarterback.
The things with a lot of these teams, they go right in the portal and they grab as many players as they can. It's good to go into the portal, but what you need to do, in my opinion, is get the positions that you need. You know what I mean? You just don't. If you don't need a certain position, you don't. Okay, you definitely want to build depth, but it's like Maynard. He grabbed everybody in the portal. but it doesn't mesh. So,
Right.
even though we'll talk about the game later, but even
No,
though you get all these players, it won't mesh. So you have to get you got to get need before anything else. So you know what I mean? It's
no,
you're like you're it's like a puzzle. You're fitting pieces into a puzzle.
you're right. I'll give you that. So that's what we're going to. Last game on the block.
Well,
Alabama
you
A&M Jackson State.
you started off because I got to take a drink. For
All
this game,
right.
I got to take a drink.
This game start. I don't know how this game started out because I was trying to get to it. I didn't get to it till probably about it was like 13
Oh,
minutes in.
you didn't see the beginning of the game?
I didn't see the first probably the first 2 minutes of the game because I was
Okay,
actually helping some people at work.
okay.
but but after when I turned it on, watching the game, y'all. First thing I'm gonna say about A&M and Quincy Casey, he needs to hit the transfer portal again.
What'd you say, Doc?
He needs to hit the transfer
Ain't gonna hit
portal.
it again.
He got to hit it again. Like seriously, you have to like. This is not a good fit for you, man. This is not Quincy Casey. This is not a good fit for you as a QB. Um, it ain't. And the reason why I say that is the reason why I say that is if you it's like when you watch the game and y'all everybody watch the game tonight. When you see him what's going on, no slack. When you see him play, or like when it was certain plays,
Is that my man
that-
Jamie G?
yeah, that he looked lost on the field. Like and that's the reason why, like seriously, that's the reason why um Connor Maynard always had that quick hook on him. But just think about it, man. Man, but just think about it. Quincy Casey, man, is a hell of a quarterback, y'all.
For who?
I'm just saying, he's a hell of a quarterback. Like,
For who?
but no, he was a good quarterback for Jackson State. But my whole thing is with him, it looked like sometimes it looked like he gets lost out there. He's lost in the sauce, and then too, he's injury prone.
Well, he took a lick
He
today.
he took a lick today. Whoo, whoever all I heard was whoo. I was like, oh, okay, okay, okay. I miss. Dang, I got to go back and watch it. But if just looking at it, y'all, just looking at it, man, it it was like he threw it's like I think. Hey, yeah, bro. I promise you, he is not being coached right. Like seriously, he is not being coached right. If you really think about that.
Get, see if we can get what's his name on no slack in the swag on.
Hey, you want to get on the? Hey, I'm gonna put you on here, man. I'm gonna bring you on here. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on here, bro. Hey, go ahead and get that invite. Yeah, Stony. The refs was horrible. I
Oh,
with Quincy, bro. When Quincy, it was like this. I think when he threw the interception to Travis, I think like he just got that. He just got the how you know how the Sandman is on a Apollo Showtime with the Apollo.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just do it, do this, and then just snatch you off the off the stage. That is what you see with that is what you see with seeing with Quincy Casey. Plus the JD hit was oh my god. What's up with but yeah, oh my god. It was just that what I'm saying it was just he he is better than that. And like I said, he needs to hit the transfer portal again and needs to be at a school that is going to actually feed into his, not feed in, but give him the right coaching, and he could become a better player and fit in a system. Hold on.
That's what you're just saying.
Yes. Yes. Ed just he hit it right there on the head. He said Quincy can stink up the joint and get it. And as soon as he make the first mistake, he gets taught. He gets put out the game. But Xavier Langford comes in and
No, he's
basically like,
he's a fullback playing quarterback.
yeah,
What's up,
what's
fellas?
going
I'm gonna
on,
put my
man?
camera on. Hold on. I'm gonna put my camera up for my man. What's up, my man?
What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all having me
Hey,
Listen,
on,
man.
man.
hey, did Sewell show you the picture of my friend? He could
Nah,
be, you guys
nah,
could be twins. I thought he was a
really.
stunt double.
Yeah, man, that game was stressful for a little while, but I know
Man,
Jackson State defense was just too good to lose that game, man. Alabama A&M, they did a good job running the football for a
They
little while,
did.
they,
man.
I
yeah,
give you that too. I give you that. They did good job running the football.
I just didn't
But
understand why they didn't keep running it up the middle. It looked like they
yeah,
Yeah, this seems like that's what Jackson State weak point is. It's kind of like up that middle, man.
yeah.
And they
Last
kept trying to
couple of
run it
games,
to the outside and stuff, but that ain't gonna work.
no, because Jackson State is good from sideline to sideline. You know what I
Yeah.
mean with Cameron and the boys and stuff like that, and with and Mr. Miller. You know what I mean. They're really good from sideline to sideline. It just seemed like they've been running up the gut. It's just been Achilles heel for Jackson the last couple of games,
Hmm.
actually. Uh, but
but
you know what? And I know you guys.
we also gotta realize
I know you guys agree with me. But watching that game, and you guys know the SWAC much better than I ever will. I
Hmm.
never seen officiating in any sport in my 62 years of my life than that game. It was putrid. It was. I
Woo!
don't. I don't.
It was terrible tonight.
Did any? I still don't know why the touchdown
Oh
was
my
called
god.
back from the kickoff return. I don't know
I,
why that
I,
was called back. I don't know why the Weidman's touchdown was called. You know what I mean? I don't understand that call. Only thing that I can think of, maybe an offensive lineman was down the field. I can understand that, but I never. It's even on the play where Bolden picked up the fumble because it was a lateral. How come they don't review that, but they review the play where he intercepted?
because that was
I
clearly
never
a
seen
back
a.
of pass. That was a back of
Yeah,
pass.
I never seen pathetic refereeing like this in my Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles could have did a better job than those referees today.
Yeah, I agree.
Man,
I agree.
I
Shit,
don't
they
know
were
how many
terrible.
I don't know how many penalties we got. I don't know how many penalties that they had got tonight. But it had to be more than about 15.
I
'Cause
bet you it was close
it
to
was like,
20.
bro, it was like every other play, I'm looking at them throwing the flag, and I'm like, okay, if you take those three penalties out, if you take those three penalties that killed our scoring chances out the board, instead of it being 21-10 at halftime, That game was supposed to be a damn whitewash.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like 40 in the third. He supposed to have like 42 in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
We supposed to double up. We supposed to double up on them. Ain't no way in the world. And the thing about it too is that every time the refs call the penalty, that kills the momentum of the drive. And you see, we had to just go ahead and punt and do what we have to do. Second of all, the play calling, the offensive play calling today should have been reversed. If you knew it was gonna be cold, my whole thing is run the ball. You got a quarterback, a quarterback, but you got a running back that can run the ball for 150, 200 yards. Run the ball with him. That's my whole. Why are you trying to go for the pass, go for the gusto with the pass, and just run the damn ball? It was ugly, man. It was ugly. Like, dude, I couldn't imagine. I was like, you know what? I wanted to throw my phone at work, but I couldn't because that's the only way I could watch the damn game. I was at work. But it was just the fact that it was. In the end, it's one of those games that Jackson State needed to have. You got to have one of those, you know what I'm saying? You got to have one of those ugly games, and you got to have one of those games where you have to play to beat the refs.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing what the refs did here's what the refs did. The refs took momentum, the atmosphere out of the game. They took everything out of the game for both sides. And you know what? I'm always going to keep it a buck. Even though I'm a big JSU fan, JSU didn't play well. They didn't play well. The play calling, you know what I mean? They started off well, you know what I mean? Even though the return kickoff was nullified for whatever reason, that's a mystery to me. We'll have to find out. Have to call Crime Stoppers to find out what about that one. But the thing is, they came down and they scored. But drop passes, bad play calling. You get the ball back. You got a guy that just ran 200 yards, and you don't give him the ball. Yes, they had 8 and 10 in the box. But you know what? When you have 8 and 10 in the box, sometimes on first down, if one block, he's gone. He's gone. Or they used the tight end at the beginning. The tight end was effective. Then they went away from it. So they're trying to hit on the extremities on the outside. Hooks dropped a couple of passes. Daniels only came in late. Weidman caught a touchdown, which they nullified. You know what I mean? I like Weidman. Why not use this guy? Use crossing around. Use the tight end. Use the screen. You got 10 in the box. Use the screen. It was yeah. You know, if they won, I'm happy they won. I'm not elated that they won. I'm happy they won, but they got to pull up their socks because if they play that way, going to the Celebration Bowl, North Carolina Central will beat their ass. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh yeah, it'll be a route.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you see what I just pulled up right there? This from my guy EA. He's like, he got a fan. So he basically said that that was terrible play calling that they did at FAMU. Like, it was terrible play calling. And he said that basically they would get beat by 50. And they not ready to be in no playoff team. My boy me at Mike in the building.
I just said.
Yeah. He right there. I mean, if Jackson State play like that in the Celebration Bowl, that's what kind of this game kind of remind me of that Celebration Bowl. I mean, you don't want to be playing like this. I mean, you could mess around, lose to a team in the MEAC real quick. Sure could be another blowout.
Yep. So, like I said, they got Alcorn next week. we got Alcorn next week down at the reservation. So they might well just get ready because it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be loud. The weather's supposed to be cold. So they might well just go ahead and just chalk it up.
What's Shador play? Will Shador play if he's in concussion protocol?
If to be honest, if I were Prime, I wouldn't even play him. Just to be on the safe side,
Yeah.
because you don't want to
I
mess around and catch a concussion over a game that really don't mean nothing.
But you see, the thing is, yeah, I agree with you totally. But the thing is, it's remember like in NFL years ago where Indianapolis was, I think it was 13-0, and the
Right.
last game they could have played, and they didn't play their plays, and they lost. Then they lost in the playoffs. So there's the conundrum where do you play 'em? Because you know what, they want to be a historic season for them. They want to go N-0. So do you play him? Because Andrade today, he had an opportunity and he didn't look that good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andrade's crap. That man trash, man. I'm sorry. I see why he played Ohio State. Man, that man
he might not.
throw a ball like a shot put.
He might not.
That throw motion horrible, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
he might not have even played on the practice squad.
I would have
Right.
played Grayson. I would have played Sunshine.
Yep. Peanut.
Yep.
Norman
Yeah,
Douglas.
Yeah, I would have played. I would have played Sunshine or Peanut. Is either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
and listen, I love Coach Prime. I think he's doing a phenomenal thing. But I disagreed in my opinion watching football. Like I said, it's easy to be an armchair quarterback. Why did he go for two? Just kick the. You know what I mean? Because he could have put his team in a situation where they could have
Mm-hmm.
tied the game if they had any. If Alabama A&M would have scored on any time, all they had to do was get it to tie the game. Kick the point there. Your
Mm-hmm.
place kicker hasn't missed a PAT.
Right.
Why
But
go
I
for two
wanted
there? I don't understand. I don't understand that.
But I wanted to like the AD have like conversations with coach after a game like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
how much power does he really have and control when it comes to making like these type of decisions? Because like you say, Prime could have really. I mean, Alabama ain't had to come back. Man, they could have tied this game and it could have went into overtime, in which Jack State could have
Yep.
won without even going into overtime.
Yep.
Yeah, and especially teams, it's been really questionable these last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
Long kickoff returns against them. Guys, it's like a baseball play. You know what I mean? I got it. You take it. It's That's not winning football. That's not championship caliber football playing like that. You know what?
Yep.
Sometimes what happens, especially with young men, you guys know as well. They start reading everything that's written about them, and they start believing everything in the press instead of understanding the task at hand. And so, what they need to do is say, "Listen, it ain't finished. It's not complete. Our thing is at the end of the year to go NO. When we do that, we
Mm-hmm.
can do our celebrations. I can make up a new dance if I want. I can make TikTok, do anything I want to do. But until then, you see, it's starting to be a burden to them because they're playing like there's something on their shoulders. Because right now, the pressure's on them
Right.
because they're expected to. Before it was like, oh, okay, this is your expectation as a team. Now they're exceeding the expectations and more. If they don't win everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lost season.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, he said it like he said the last season, like when we came to Atlanta and we wasn't focused. We weren't, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't about business. And he was like, we just weren't focused, and that's how we lost the game. And plus, South Carolina State just, they wanted it more than them. Um, so that's the mindset that you have to go into every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to stay focused, and you have to want it more than the next person. Um,
But you can want it more than the next team. But last year in the Celebration Bowl, it's not that South Carolina wanted it more. We gave it to them. So then after they took advantage of what we were giving, then they proceeded to go on and take it because fumble and certain plays into the game, it just changed the full momentum. Once momentum switches, if you can't get that momentum back in a sport, you're cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you. Um, Let me say Texas Southern is winning right now, 41-7. against Grambling. I got like less than 3 minutes in the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, Texas Southern gonna win. So, like I said, that West is gonna look retarded. It's gonna look crazy. But even though they probably won't be able to do anything because they got the loss against Prairie View. It is everybody's, the whole West is up for grabs. But it looks like Prairie View is going to be the representative for the Western Division to actually play in the SWAC championship game. Some people want Southern to play in the SWAC championship game against Jackson State.
It'll be another
I don't
blowout.
care. I don't care who is going to be in the SWAC championship game. It's going to be a blowout. Probably going to see
Jackson
about
State better
50,000.
pull up their socks.
You're gonna see about 50,000 at the stadium. You got hoop jargon up in here, boy. My boy. I got my boy Cliff. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, Hoop, what's up?
What's up, Brian? Good to see you, bro.
What's good?
Always
bro?
a pleasure.
How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm just grinning like a Cheshire cat, bro. Prairie View is looking like going back to the SWAC title. I know we're gonna get mollywopped, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
But like I said, it's better. It's better than what we saw back in the 90s, man. It's better than what I saw in the 90s.
Lord have mercy. That's an understatement.
I'm actually proud of Prairie View,
is,
man. Because a lot of people doubted them, man.
Yeah,
this season.
Absolutely, man. Losing Dumas, losing Jawan Pass, to lose, man. Losing our coach. I'm, you know what? I wish we'd be off one last week. That was a horrible loss. And what's funny, man? One of the brothers, number 17, who dropped that pass, wide open touchdown pass. One of his kinfolk got on me in the comment section. We talked it out. But bro, like, oh man, that shit hurt, bro.
No, but Hoop,
but it's into the end zone.
Yeah, but see, that's overtime though. See, that means you're playing extra. It should have never went to overtime. Agreed. That's the thing too.
Agreed.
Agreed.
But at the same,
you know what? I feel sorry for that young man. I feel sorry for that young man because in about 10, 15 years, when they're all grown and have kids, and then after one of the guys said, Daddy, who's that? Well, that's the guy that dropped the pass in overtime. Who's that, Daddy? That's that guy.
All right, it's Southern with the dub, y'all.
Okay, who Southern beat?
Texas Southern. Grambling.
Oh, Grambling. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, I got to tell my buddy C. Wells this week. Only reason why Grambling lost because they want to save themselves for Southern next week.
Yeah. C. Wells said himself he knew his team was shaky.
Yeah.
He knew they were shaky this year.
Look,
yeah, man.
Hey, Texas Southern, like I said, Texas Southern with the win. Man, it's one of those. Like I said, the West. The West is really Prairie View.
41 on ground.
They put 41 on them.
Dang,
that's tough, bro.
Andrew Body had 2 touchdowns passing, no interceptions, 190 yards passing. He also had 43 yards on the ground. I mean, he had Andrew Body numbers, so there's nothing I can say anything bad about that. And then Grambling, Calvez.
It's a freshman.
He's a freshman.
Yeah,
he's a freshman, but like I said, with Texas Southern, you have to beat you got to beat them on the ground. You seen what Jackson State did. They give up 100-something. They give up almost 200 yards on the ground as a team. Yeah, that's your formula of beating Texas Southern.
What was Marshall's statistics?
Huh?
What was Marshall's statistics? The running back. Washington. Sorry, Washington.
Yeah, Maurice. He had it's right here because I'm looking on my phone. It had 10 carries for 39 yards, no touchdowns. They
See,
shut that
they got
down.
to run. They got
They
to run
shut that
that, but they got.
down.
Yeah, but they got to run him more. 10 carries is not enough for a running back of his caliber. You know what I mean? He had 10 for 200 last game because he's a breakaway runner. But you cannot give a guy like this 10 carries a game and you're expecting him to get 200 yards every game. He's like, I think he's averaging like 11 yards a carry or something like that. So you got to give him. I don't know why they're just giving him 10, 10. Chavez right now as a freshman, what is he? He's a game manager. He's not a quarterback. He's a game manager, and that's what he does best is manage the game. You know what I mean? When they're successful. Other than that, you have to rely on your running game and play action.
So in the West is for a second is Southern, Alcorn, and Texas Southern all tied with each other.
Wow.
Southern and Alcorn already played. Southern beat Alcorn. Texas Southern beat Southern. Texas Southern also beat Alcorn. But Southern beat Prairie View. Alcorn beat Prairie View. Those are two losses Prairie View has, but Prairie View beats Texas Southern. It's so jumbled up like that in the West. Like, if they all had 3 losses in the West, Prairie View wouldn't be making it to the SWAC championship game.
Facts.
Well, it's parity
If
in the
they all,
West.
huh? Yeah, it's
It's
parity in
parity
the
in the
West.
West.
Unlike in the East, like you already know
Yep.
what's it?
And Jackson and everybody else.
Jackson and everybody else.
How bad was it the referee in this game?
I mean,
Terrible.
it's swag shit, you know. And again, man,
Mm-hmm.
basketball and the swag. But, I mean, we know what time it was with swag refs, bro. I mean, you know, one of the biggest things we always say is, man, don't let the referees impact the game. And I know bad refereeing is hard to overcome, but I mean,
Oh my!
if you just know that's part of the equation. So yeah, no, the referee was bad, but the quarterback play, man, I just wish freaking A&M had some stellar quarterback play, bro, because they were in the hunt, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Execute when it mattered, bro. Like in the red zone,
Mm-hmm.
execute. It's very frustrating to watch. Referee aside.
Yeah, the referee aside, it was terrible. It was terrible to watch. Like it was one of those games where, like I said, I wanted to throw the phone, but I couldn't because it was on my way. That's the only way I could watch the games while I'm at work. And so it's like, now I don't want to be paying no extra money to try to get my phone fixed because I done cussed everybody out on there. You mother. Yeah, I'd been did. I was like this at the register. You mother. You. Oh my God.
What
Yeah.
you think
But
about this?
that's how it was.
This game being home and home for both teams next year instead of being in Mobile because
Being the
the
Go
crowd look
Classic.
kind of
Yeah.
it looked kind of thin from what from TV. It didn't look
Yeah,
packed.
yeah. You
Bro,
know,
it was cold. It was cold.
but then,
But
but then they
I
still,
can't really say anything bad about it being cold because
yeah, get a
Banner State
blanket, man.
almost had a sold out crowd today. So
Uh,
we can't really I
But
can't
what?
really fault that.
But didn't they say it was supposed to be sell like 40,000? That was
Yeah, that's
supposed
what
to
they kept. A lot
that
of people saying it was a sellout, and
yeah.
it really wasn't no sellout.
Mm-mm.
Agreed.
Don't look like it.
And they really got to they got to really negotiate. I don't know with the ESPN contract because it was like 3rd and 16, and on the screen it said 3rd and 10. I'm saying, what the heck is going on here, man?
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. It is just atrocious. The production that ESPN is displaying for supposed to be the leader in sports. You know what I mean? They're really trying to fool that Disney crap. Because HBCU Go, man, the production is just it's nice to watch, and
Oh
the
yeah.
commentators and the analysts are phenomenal. They're professional, but it's really bad. It's really bad.
Well, we are in the last year of the deal for I think we are in the last year of the deal for the ESPN contract. So Got to do something. Have somebody else in from the SWAC office.
Call Bezos, Prime Video.
Nah.
I like to see a Fox deal, a Fox
A
FS1
Fox
type
deal?
deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A Fox or a CBS.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
would
got to
see
do
a
something
CBS
because
deal.
it's terrible. They got to do something.
And it don't even have to be on on the actual CBS station. It could be on CBS Sports Network. I mean,
Yep.
I watched
Yeah,
that.
but we see that's the problem. We always like settling for less than. You know what I mean? The momentum is getting it's probably it's the highest point, and it has it hit its crescendo. Maybe not, but if as long as it's the popularity with Coach Prime and the whole SWAC and everything that is being evolved right now, you got to strike where the iron is hot. You don't settle for second place. You settle for first because if they don't give you first, then they give you second. But if you go for second, then they'll give you third.
Right.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you on that. But yeah, man. With the refs, they got to do something with the refs. They have to. Like, you got to do something with the refs.
They got to start
With the game.
paying them properly because these guys are probably volunteers because they can't get paid for for refereeing the way they're refereeing. They're volunteers. Get these guys on the street out them. What they got to do is get referees. They're not at the bar during happy hour. That's the problem.
Yeah. All I gotta say is, man, it is what it is. We already know. We all three of us been in the sweat. We've been in the sweat for long enough to know about these refs.
Yeah,
Even with basketball. Clear, you already know with the basketball, you already know how it is with the refs with basketball. You be wanting to punch them.
yeah. Free game, it ain't gonna change. So you go ahead and just take it out your mind. It ain't gonna change.
TJ trying to get on the string too. What's up, man? What's up, TJ?
What's going on?
Oh man, you said something about the
Y'all hear me?
refs.
Man,
Yeah,
what's up,
go
dog?
ahead, TJ.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Yeah, we hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, this what I this what I see from the watching the game. Like I just told, just like I just told the other, just like I told the other, another fan. It's hard playing against the refs, which made it clear. They made it clear. You can tell they were for A&M. It's hard trying to, it's hard trying to play against the refs and to establish momentum all at the same time. Yeah, we made a good enough plays to a point where we that you know what I'm saying that we took off, but just minus those touchdowns, and you see how the game would have turned out. Like
Yeah.
I don't, I think Dion he got to start understanding. Alabama is not on y'all. They not on Jack State side. Like when you go to Alabama, you gonna really have to play clean ball because you do one simple thing, they calling the flag every time.
Man, I'm gonna just put it like this: when it comes to the refs,
And for
bro,
North Carolina, I don't see them. I don't see them beating Jack State.
Jackson better not play like they played today. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely not.
yeah, I have to say that they can't play like that. They can't play like that today, man.
Man, but
But
listen,
I gonna say this though, but
Hey
North Carolina
man,
Central got a legit quarterback now.
That's
You
right.
know, a lot of these quarterbacks that JSU done ran across, they ain't hitting on the damn. But that boy from North Carolina got an arm, bro,
he
Yeah.
and
not.
he nice with it. So I can't say JSU if they did play a celebration, bro, we're gonna run off with them. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a damn good game though.
I'm gonna say this,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, sometime in this black, bro. it's just it's parody, like we just said about a few minutes ago. Dog, sometimes
Yep.
you don't get some games. It's just be an ugly ass game, and you don't know how it's a close game. It is. And I say this reference all the time, man. My junior year, we played Grambling. This when they had Breon Rush, who was the third leading scorer in America. Not the SWAC, not FS F one double A in America. It was him, Trey Johnson, who was at Jackson at the time,
Yep.
and then Adam Morrison was the number one scorer at Gonzaga.
Yeah.
We beat Grambling, and we were like at the bottom of the SWAC. We beat them on national television on ESPN. Sometimes it's just like that in SWAC, bro. And you can't really put your finger on it, like why, this game has gotten so ugly how it is, and how the fuck did Prairie View beat, Grambling when Grambling's the top of the conference. I mean, they had Dre Ratliff. They're a good team. They're a really good team that year. It just be that way sometimes. The SWAC, man, sometimes it's mucked up, it's ugly. And you got the ish talking going on, and you got the crowd factor. Sometimes it's just like that, man. You know what I mean? A few bad referee calls, of course. I mean, you can't control that. And one thing, as a former player and a coach, I don't harp too much on that because you just can't control that. But I mean, it's the SWAC, bro. Like, it makes it so compelling that even like some teams that have no business on the same field or court with somebody, you still can get a good competitive ball game, man. And I think that's kind of today was like indicative of that whole fact. You know what I mean? And I thought that was a good thing, man.
Yeah, I see, man. Sometimes you do need that. We need that parity because for so long before we moved up to the with the divisions, that you knew basically like one or two teams was going to be basically, they're going to win the conference. It's either going to be a Grambling, it's either going to be a Southern, or it's going to be a Jackson State. And everybody else had to fall in line. That was it.
Facts.
You knew who was going, you knew who was going to win the conference. See, when in fact, when I was at Jackson in the late 90s, like it was always between we was always up there, but it was always between like Grambling or Southern. And then when we had Pine Bluff come into play, Pine Bluff came in. They had a running game and defense and QB play and like you just knew who was gonna be. You knew who was gonna be. You knew who was gonna be the number one team in the SWAC back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like my freshman year, I think we went 9-2. The only game I think the one game we lost was against Southern, and then the other game I forgot who we lost the second game to. But Southern wasn't really that bad. I mean, Southern was like middle of the road, and then Grambling was like pretty much middle of the road because they was coming towards the end of their little heyday with Coach Robinson, and at Jackson we were just on we were just hot. We were just on the road. It was like we had one of those. We had one of those teams like when you go in when they get on the field, they knew we were going. They knew they were going to win, regardless. And some you need that right now. Like you need that parity.
Yeah, it's good for the brand, bro. It's good for the brand because, like you said, man. It just from a football perspective, it just reminds me of my senior year when Alabama State and Grambling were the top of the SWAC. And basically, you had the Bruce Eugene versus the Tavares Jackson dynamic going. And it was good for the conference. And, I think Southern was okay at that juncture. Jackson, I think, was bad, actually, that year.
Yeah.
Jackson.
We was on our down years.
yeah, that's one down years for sure. So, But I mean, it's always. I mean, that's how it goes, bro. It's a shell game, and I know with fam in the equation, that kind of switches things up. Bethune is kind of a non-factor, but you know, it's good though, man, because you don't want Jackson steamrolling everybody. You know, I know you know Jackson State's your school, but it's not good for the overall brand. And I think that it was a good thing that you know, Coach. Goddamn, I forget his name. At A&M, what's his name?
Which one? Right now?
Yeah.
Coach Maynard.
Coach Maynard, yeah. So, you know, because they got that little inner beef thing going, you know, because, you know, as 2 years ago, the COVID year, him and Coach Prime had their words, and A&M won the SWAC that year, which, you know, some people say don't count. You know, it was a good kind of bring that rivalry back around. And for a little while, it was a good-ass game. You know what I mean? And it just kind of turned back into, like, you know, Jackson did what they supposed to done, again, with the referee manipulation. You can say what you want to say. But that's, like, to me, that's what I know the SWAC to be, bro. It's about a black person, hard-nosed playing, ish talking, and all that good stuff. And I mean, to me, it was good for the SWAC today. I want to say that.
For my opinion, from the outside looking in, when you have a team that's dominant, as Jackson State has been for the last 2 seasons, I think it's great for the SWAC for the simple reason it makes your other programs elevate theirs. Because when you have parity, if everybody's at the same elevated state, then it's fine for parity. But when you don't have like good quarterback play and nine of the what, how many teams? 12 teams are there? 11, 12 teams?
12.
When you don't have that, that means there needs to be an elevation. So by Jackson State being as dominant as they have been, it makes other guys like pull up their socks and say, listen, we got to get better because they were settling. There was a lot of stagnation previously in the SWAC and HBCUs. Now the spotlight's on them. So what it has, it gives them a chance to enhance their program, to go out and recruit 5 and 4 stars. You know what I mean? At the best players. There's a lot of players. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple articles. One guy was asking to go to HBCU. He said, I never got any offers. So he went to an Ivy League school. So because HBCUs weren't willing, because their attitude is, well, we're not going to get him anyways. If you don't ask, you never get. That's one thing for sure. But the thing is, this gives it's opportunity. All you have to be opportunistic to get these players.
Yep. Yeah, I think well, Alabama A&M has been like the vanguard of that now, because shooting their shot, because they got the most transfers, right? Of everybody. And I had KJ Black on my before, and KJ Black, y'all know he's a coach for the Rams now, but he was the quarterback for the Panthers when we won in 2009. He also was an assistant coach for Coach Willie Simmons at FAM. So, you know, widely respected guy in SWAC football circles. And he was on my channel and he was just saying, like, it's like too many transfers is kind of a bad thing. And that's kind of what he was saying. Everybody was on Alabama A&M nuts, proverbially speaking, about getting all those 4-star, 3-star transfers. He's like, but it's too much turnover and it's going to be really hard, you know, have a system with all those guys who are used to somebody else's tutelage. So it's interesting to see how A&M season has turned out when KJ said that before the season even started. So I was like, damn, I never thought of it that way. Which I should have.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what me and Doc were saying before, because they went out and got all transfers. So it's hard to build continuity that way. So you know what? So you have to have, in my opinion, you got to fit a need and not just say I'm going to get a whole bunch of transfers and that's going to fill everything and that's going to justify everything and I'm going to satisfy the fan base and the university and the AD and stuff like that. No, you can't do that. So what you have to do have a formula. So okay, I'm going to get some high school players, bring them into the program. I'll get some transfers. I'll get some grad transfers. Like that's what Prime did. He's doing 40-40-20. So he's not fitting. His purpose is to fit a need. So you know what? He knew last year, he needed what? A good kicking game. So he went out to get kickers. He knew what he needed, offensive line. So what did he do? He got 11 new offensive linemen as far as like that. So he fitted the need for this coming season. So that's why they're doing as well as they're doing. But he just go out and get 4 and 5 stars and stuff like that. He went on to get the need for his teams.
That's a great point. And a lot of coaches will tell you, man, like that's why a lot of coaches are like leery on getting JUCO guys. Because if you get too many of them, they're already been institutionalized. Meaning they kind of have a thing about what kind of player they are already. And you got to get first stop. And I'll tell myself a little bit, man. My guy Talvin Hester, he's a first year head coach. He coaches at La Tech. First year head coach. And Talvin, I coached when I was at Prairie View, and I coached with him when I graduated. And Talvin's been at Texas Tech. He's been at Creighton. He's been at Stephen F. Austin, which is the first school I went to. He's also been at San Jose State and U of H as well. So he's high level. He coached under
been around the block.
He's been around the block. He know what time it is. And out of confidence, and I won't say specific, but he was saying that his first year, some of the dudes who've been there before him, he want them to fuck out that school. And I'm sorry if I'm cursing if you don't allow that, brother.
Good.
But
I'm good
because I'm passionate because that's how coaches in their pure essence, that's what they think it is. And it's tough when you take on so many transfers because they bring their sugar honey iced tea, their shit to your program, and you got to deal with it because they're talented. And it's not always a good thing. So good coaches bring in their young, and these things fly under the radar because it's a 1-star guy, and you know how we do. Oh, it's nobody. Everybody go off the star rating. But if you bring in guys buying to your culture, that low key is better than a 4-star or 3-star guy who's somebody else's sugar honey iced tea that you're bringing in and that you got to try to convert over. Because he literally told me that this guy program that he's still trying to win him over because the last guy left and then Kenny Lofton Jr. left and went to the G League. And it's just like it's a mess he kind of deal with. You know what I mean? So everything ain't peachy. That's 4-star, 5-star, 3-star.
No.
Because you gotta establish a culture, like the brother in the chat just said. So I just want to impart that up on the conversation.
You can't bring in players that don't have character. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, to develop a culture, you have to have character. Because you can bring in a very talented player, but if he's a cancer, he's going to ruin the young players. You know what I mean? Because he's going to have influence on the younger players. You can't have that. So you know what? I'd rather have a less talented player that has character and that I can work with, and I know he's not going to cheat me. He's going to be the best of his. He'll do the best of his ability. So that way, it enhances your program. And you know what? You have better work ethic because you're going to see this guy this quote unquote 5-star. Maybe he's only a 3-star, but he works as hard as anybody ever has worked, and he'll progress to where you want him to be. And so that's how you develop team chemistry and stuff like that. But if you have a guy that's a really talented player and he's in your office and you're constantly dealing with him, get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Yeah, because sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Because you can have a guy who's really good, but he's on some dissension stuff. Like meaning he gonna have a little coup against the coach. Like, man, F coach. You know what I mean? Those guys do exist because I've seen it in my own locker room at Prairie View, at SFA. I noticed so when I was in JUCO, and like the brother said, it's good players in junior college. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Problem is with JUCO kids is they are institutionalized already. They have a made-up mind of what they are, and they want to come to a program and just impact it immediately. That's hard for continuity because if you want them to be kind of a supplementary player, in their mind, they're like, I'm 21 already. Like, I'm coming here to take over. And that's where the problem can come with those kind of kids. It sucks, but it's just reality.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. But like I said, when you really overhaul the roster, and I understand people say, well, Prime overhauled the roster, but the difference between Prime and Maynard, what he did was basically he kept some of those kids on the team. Like he could have easily let Warren Newman go, but he didn't. he could have easily let uh a couple of basically he could have let a couple of those kids go, but he didn't. He needs to make sure that he actually have a team. And so yeah, you do want to go to the transfer portal, but you also want to get kids from the high school ranks that you can actually groom, you know what I'm saying, and coach them up, and basically they'll be able, they'll play for you. And like you said, with you got kids coming in from out of the transfer portal, even if they in JUCO, just like what Cliff said, like they already made, you know what I'm saying, they already made up in their mind that you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to contribute like right now. And
Well,
so that's just my whole thing. Like certain things you can't certain things you really can't control, but you could control that. And like I said, even a roster turnover like that with like almost 40 some transfers on your squad
That's
and
crazy.
no type of and no, you know what I'm saying, you got some freshmen and stuff like that, but you're so relying on those transfers to get your program, I ain't say back to what it was, because it really was, your program really wasn't that bad. You only lost 3 games last season.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
here,
had the best, but you had one of the best quarterbacks in the game in the conference too, in Kill Glass.
Kill Glass ain't hurt nothing.
yeah, but you see, here's the problem. When you try to match up to a team that beats your ass, you're gonna seem desperate. And that's what Coach Maynard was desperate. He got humiliated last year, 66-15. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden he went out. He said, "Listen, I'm going in this transfer portal. I'm going to get all these defensive backs. I'm going to get all this," because he was preparing for Jackson State and Jackson State only. He didn't care about anything else. He cared about Jackson State because he got an ass whipping. But the thing is, with Coach Prime, even last year, not last year, even the spring season. I'm going to go back to the spring season. It was a blessing for him because he's seen the talent level. He got rid of mostly all those players except for Newman and a couple DBs and Forrest like that. But in meetings, he said to them, because he keeps it a buck, he says, "I am trying to replace you as I speak." So what's that? There's one or two things as an athlete what you do. Either you understand you have to compete and you try harder and you be a competitor, or you're gonna fold up and then all of a sudden you're out the door. It's one of the two things that happens. You either compete or you don't.
Yep. That's it. You know what? And that's
Yeah,
the
and
side of
and
this.
and too, like,
So go ahead, bro.
now what's up?
Nah,
Go
well,
ahead, Hoop.
Um, my bad, my bad. We
Go ahead,
get
Hoop.
confused.
Go ahead, Hoop.
no, I'm saying, and that's the dark side of it. That's the reality of it, and that's why I'm cool with the transfer portal, because at the end of the day, scholarships are 1 to 1 year renewable. You can get rid of dudes for whatever reason. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. You don't like how his breath smell. You can get rid of that kid. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm cool with the autonomy both ways. Like, kids can leave, coaches can get rid of kids. I've always been a big proponent for the transfer portal because I know I've seen the ugly side of it, man. It's ugly, man. It can get real ugly.
Yep.
So in that capacity, yeah, I'm cool with Coach Prime saying that, because it's something, again, it's the dark side of the game that people act like don't exist, but it does exist. Like, yo, I don't want you on my team. You're not producing. My job is on the line. Now, Coach Prime is already rich. So with a cat like him, it's a little hard to understand the plight. But other coaches who, that's their real life livelihood, bro, if you are a bad fit for my team, I'm sending your ass back to where I found you. And I know it sucks,
Yep.
because I didn't talk to your mama, I talked to your daddy. I told you all that good stuff to get you over here. But after, some trial run, you're not working out. And I think that's no
Yeah.
problem with that. Because you'd be surprised how some kids just they don't care like that. They don't care. You know what I mean? Like, they don't love it like that. And it's okay to get rid of some dudes just because, 24/7 Sports had them ranked here, and whatever sports had them ranked there. But they don't rub it like that. So you should be able to get rid of them. Just how if your coach lied to you, and you have aptitude past that, you got the right to move around. So I'm good with it all the way. So again, it's just the ugly side of the game. And, it's unfortunate, but it's just realistic, bro.
The recruiting part is like the honeymoon. The recruiting part's like the honeymoon. In the honeymoon, it's all good and glamorous and all that fun and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, it becomes reality. Now, are you going to work together to make a commitment to make this work? And if it doesn't, then you go divorce. It's time for a divorce court, and that's what happens, because a lot of times players as athletes, you're satisfied to get to a point. You set your goal. Let me get to college, but once you get to college, you got to set another goal to go beyond. It's either the pros or let me be the best player that I can be. And a lot of players don't do that. They're just happy where they are. It's I'm with a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? We're rah head. We're having a good time and stuff like that. No, be the best you and put that time in. I always like the players, and I can tell my son, I played professional hockey, and when my son he played professional, I said, listen, you got to always outwork the hardest working guy in your team.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so when it comes down to me, when it just comes down to it, though, you just got to be patient. You got to have the continuity. But if you really think about it, like you said, like you were saying, Brian, Coach Manning got all those players just to beat Jackson State. A lot of teams in the SWAC are getting the players to beat Jackson State. Jackson State is the, you know what I'm saying? It's the main entree. That's who they're. It's kind of like, and Cliff, you can kind of back me up on this. It's kind of like how everybody in the NBA had to put their team together to beat LeBron.
Or Golden State.
Golden State. Not LeBron. Not LeBron.
Okay. No. But no, back then you had the team. Some certain majority team was built to beat LeBron.
No, I disagree there.
It was built like that to beat LeBron.
I disagree totally that, because LeBron was a great player, but he wasn't done like Jordan back in the day. You had to build a team to try to beat Jordan. But even more, hoops right. You had to build a team to build Golden State, because Golden State evolutionized basketball. Because there was nobody before.
But what I'm saying is, okay, let me take that back. I'll take that back from the LeBron. I'll take the LeBron statement back.
Okay, I got you, brother.
Teams back in the early to mid 2000s had to build their team around kind of beat like the Lakers, the Spurs, or even Detroit, the Pistons. And then now you see it where like now, you got to be to where you got to build a team to beat Golden State, and then you mess up because you're trying to play like them, and you're not playing like, you know what I'm saying? You're not playing like yourself. You're not playing the way that you're supposed to play. What's up, Javon?
Great point, sir. And that's what the Rockets did. Tried to be Golden State.
Yeah, the Rockets did the same thing too.
Yep. They tried to be Golden State 2.0. But the problem was Golden State runs sets. They got generational talent, and they try to rejigger that, bringing in Eric Gordon, rather, bringing in Gerald Green, bringing in your boy Austin Rivers. They tried to rejigger that when Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are going to be the best two shooters of all time, and that's just what it is. you can't reverse engineer that. That's just something that's going to be a staple. That's always so. You're gonna have to beat Golden State, being you. And now, Kawhi Leonard had some help with KD getting injured, but the Raptors beat them by being them, and that's kind of the chicken or the egg thing. Like, which one comes first? Are you trying to stay true to what you are? Or are you trying to deal with the best in your league, what have you? And that's kind of a conundrum that every coach has to face, or every organization has to face, because you really gotta sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting per se, and put a ideology together. And it is tough because when you try to beat the best at being them, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to occur because they are them.
Well, the thing back then when Toronto beat Golden State, not only did KD get hurt, Thompson got hurt too. You know what I mean? So the thing is also, is like you're saying, your point is so valid, is that when you try to be somebody else, you're only going to be the second best of them, not the first best of yourself.
There you go.
And they thought Mark Jackson was crazy. I'll never forget it. 11, 10 years ago when Mark Jackson coached, and he was when he was coaching, he said these are the best shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. People thought he was hallucinating, but he was right.
Yeah, man, you're looking at. I'm just saying, like every team now, you're looking at it now for the SWAC in the next couple of years is basically trying to gear themselves up to try to beat Jackson State. Like, even though Shador only got 2 more years left, in you know what I'm saying, playing in college after this year. Travis gonna have like 3 years, probably 2 years left.
Did Travis have a game today though?
Yeah, he had a good game today.
Yeah.
Somebody that said, was he the player of the game? I was like, yeah, he was until 23 showed up. 23, I forget the brother name, but 23.
Talking about Zay Bolden? Talking about the cornerback?
Yeah.
Talking about Zay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That boy had a game. So
yeah.
it was.
He should have had that picking. He should have had picking it towards the end zone, too.
Yeah.
Oh, they robbed him of that.
That boy had a game.
And the fumble recovery, that, you know what I mean? I don't understand why they didn't replay that. Anyways, it is what it is.
But yeah,
I never see. You can tell it was past Halloween. Seeing all those yellow flags. I thought a bunch of pumpkins out there, man. Every time JSU scores, I always try to have a little shot. I had to wait to see if there was no yellow flag up there today.
Bro, that's like how I feel being a Cowboys fan. Every time we score, all right, I know somebody. I know it's older. It's rough, bro. It's rough being a Cowboy fan.
Cowboy Laker fan, Hoop. I'm gonna pray for you, my brother.
Hey, man. I love the fact that Lakers are losing. I want us to go down. I want us to crash and burn, bro. I want us to go down what we created. So I'm good. I'm good.
But yeah, man. So as y'all know, look, Jackson State play Alcorn Soul Bowl next week down at the reservation. I forgot what time that game come on, but it's gonna be. I don't know. They probably gonna have some. Jackson State probably gonna have some retribution in their heart because they feel like they played. They felt like in their mind they played terrible today. Even though we got to win, they played terrible.
Yes.
Then we got to go to the Celebration Bowl. I mean, not Celebration Bowl, but SWAC championship game in Jackson. I don't think last season was still in the game all the way up until like the middle towards the end of the third quarter, all the way to the fourth quarter. But it's going to be a different story. And then the Celebration Bowl. Celebration Bowl, we cannot go into the Celebration Bowl distracted. So Coach Prime going to have to kill all the noise, even though I understand that, people are going to say he's linked to this job or linked to this job right here. He just need to kill all the noise with his team and tell them, hey, I ain't looking at nobody. We here. We got a task at hand. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out here and do the job. Now,
yeah, he already said that this week because they said that with Nebraska. He said no, haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like,
I made a video. I did a video on that, man.
But they got it. The thing is, before, you know what, you got to look week by week. Every week you got to be 1-0. You know what I mean? You know there's a finish line, but before you get to the finish line, you gotta run the race accordingly. And the thing is, you can't look too far ahead because if you do, sometimes you stumble and you fall. And right now, any given Saturday, any team can win. There's a lot of film on Jackson State right now. You know what they do well. You know what they don't do well. You know what? Last couple of games, teams were able to run on them. Next game against Alcorn, it's going to be a team that's going to run on them. So JSU has to stop the run. They got to play better on special teams. Their play calling, it's got to be a little bit better. They can't uh, step on their own feet or cut their nose to spite their face with all these penalties. They got to play a disciplined game. That they haven't played that lately. So it's Alcorn. Got to go 1-0 against Alcorn. Then it's the playoffs, the SWAC championship. Then the next step, one step at a time. One step at a time.
Man, I just think
right.
everybody get their sugar honey iced tea game, man. And this was Jackson's game, and they still beat the hell out of A&M. So I mean, it is what it is. I think that they right back to business. Next week they're gonna beat the hell out of Alcorn, in my opinion. They gotta watch out for that run game. Alcorn did a really good job with the run against my Panthers. But I mean, if we're being honest, like Alcorn ain't got nothing to beat Jackson unless Shador's not healthy. So I don't know what's going on with
Shador ain't playing.
Yeah, now Shador ain't playing. And we talk about a whole different situation now. Because we saw Andrade. Andrade ain't a bad quarterback per se, but he ain't a good one either. So that's just reality. And I said this in my stream that Andrade looks like your average SWAC quarterback, man. Because it's hard to move the ball. And Jackson looked very pedestrian when Shador went out there. And then I also said that shows how special Shador is, bro. Shador is a special kid, man. So I'm glad that you can kind of see that juxtaposition. Well, I'm not glad he got hurt, but I'm glad that people can kind of see and appreciate how good Shador is.
True. But yeah,
Shador
that's
has
something that
such. He should have slid for sure. First of all, he should have slid. He knows better. But Shador's pocket presence and his QB IQ is it's professional. It's pro, right? He's a pro. He is a pro, like his father says. He is a pro. His quarterback IQ is way off the scales.
Agreed. I just like how he avoids the rush. He keeps his eyes upfield, and he's able to make plays. When last year, that kind of was his little.
You couldn't do that. The offensive line wasn't gonna let him do that.
Yeah, you're right. But he would panic, coming out there, and I can't blame him. But this year, he still keeps his eyes upfield. And I think that's a huge change I saw from last year with him. And he uses tight end a lot more this year as well. So, Shador all the credit in the world for me, bro. I see the progression.
Well, Dallas Daniels played today, but he didn't look good.
But he wasn't 100% though to me.
No, yeah, that's right. You seen that, right? He didn't look good. And like Weidman made that one catch, was nullified the touchdown. But Weidman needs to play more because even though Shane Hooks made a good catch, but Shane Hooks, I'm telling you, Weidman's their best receiver. Kevin Coleman wasn't even involved in receiving today.
Agreed.
So especially when they're playing a box front like that, the quick thing is quick get out your hand as quick as possible. Slant routes, crossing routes. You know what I mean? Screens, receiver screens, running back screens. Tight end plays, screen routes. But they were using the tight end. It was effective. Then they go away from it. It's like, man, come on. You see, they say about Bartoloni. I think he's going to be good. He's doing well this year. But this is the first year that I think he's really been an offensive coordinator. He was under the tutelage of Mike Leach and stuff like that, but I don't think he was the OC. He was like maybe in the system, but I don't think he was an OC. So this is probably his real first opportunity of being an OC.
Well, it is what it is right now, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. We just get ready for Alcorn next week. But y'all got anything? Because I'm about to shut it down for tonight. Anything coming up this week?
Yeah. Well, I stream the games like I do every Saturday. So if you guys want to check the game out, come over to my side of the world. I'm also working on, man. I'm close. I'm close to getting Trey Johnson on the channel. So me and him been texting back and forth, busy with the season just starting and being assistant coach at Jackson. So I'm very much wanting to put that out for the information because again, number 2 scorer in America, and I happened to play against him, when I was at Prairie View, man. And so I really want Trey to share some game on, coming from the HBCU ranks to the NBA and doing what he did. So I'm working on that. So y'all stay locked into my channel because I'm very close. Go ahead.
I'm always going to catch the hoop.
Yeah, man. I'm close to locking that down. So we still working. We still working. But appreciate you having me up, bro. I love talking about HBCU sports. Because, for the longest, nobody wanted to hear us, and now we here, and like the major networks have caught wind of what we're doing, and it's a beautiful thing, man. So I don't care what I'm doing. I'm hopping on every HBCU stream I can, as long as you ain't doing no clown shit. And I just appreciate that.
Nah, you good, bro. Thank you for coming on, man.
Absolutely, bro.
All right.
Go Lakers.
On that note, I'm out.
All right, brother. Nice talking to you.
But yeah, this weekend, I don't know what's up this weekend. I know it's supposed to be supposed to be Tennessee State coming to Texas A&M Commerce and play them this Saturday, but more than likely I'll probably skip that and be watching Jackson State Alcorn. Other than that, Friday I'm gonna do a pre-recorded show for D I Love Friday. So I'll put that out there so everybody will see. To make sure everybody follow it and like the video, and then what I'm saying, basically just subscribe to the channel. Other than that, man, I really don't have too much stuff going on because we about to get into the thick of things as far as with retail goes, because it's about to be Thanksgiving, Black Friday coming up in 2 weeks.
Crazy up there.
So I don't feel like I want to punch somebody. I'm trying to be on my best behavior for the Black Friday, but I know I might have to cut somebody out or punch somebody up, but I ain't trying to do all that to risk my job. And I ain't trying to be in jail either.
No, that's not good, brother.
You got anything, Brian, before we roll up out of here?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready go back to day, and during the holiday, the busy season as far as like that is saying, I work at Costco, so it's going to be just crazy for the next weeks, or up right up till Christmas, I should say. So, I think we're not going to pull my hair because I got to pull my hair, so that's a good thing. So when we back on Monday, Tuesday,
I'll be back on probably. It'll probably be Monday. If anything come about, I'm gonna talk about, man. On Monday we come on here. We're gonna talk about that dumbass rumor from even though I put it out there already. I did a live video. The one from he said talking about the Nebraska job. So we'll talk about that one right there, man. I want to talk about that a little bit more. I didn't get a chance because I just did I did a live on yesterday right before I went to go to the movies. And it was only for like 20 minutes. I just want to get like what people's perspective is on it. We'll do it Monday evening, then Tuesday afternoon. It's what's that?
Did you see Coach Prime on the sideline today all wrapped up with the coat and the hoodie like that, he ain't going
Oh
nowhere
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
practice.
It was cold. It was cold, cold. It was cold, cold. Uh, yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there. Then Tuesday, try to figure out if it's gonna be HBCU tonight or I'll probably do an afternoon show. More like I'll probably do an afternoon show, kind of get it out the way. Gotta have the family time. And then Wednesday,
Yeah, me
no recording. And then Thursdays is preview show. So I'll do that in the afternoon now instead of in the evening time. Then Friday, if not doing anything Friday, I will do a live the I Love Friday show. But if not, I'll probably pre-record it. And then Saturday, everybody knows Saturday post-game show.
All right, my brother.
But other than that, man, congratulations to Fayetteville State for winning the CIAA championship today. Congratulations to Benedict to Benedict College for winning the SIAC championship today. Both of those programs need to be well recognized in the HBCU world because not too many people are giving them that recognition. So on my channel, you're gonna get that recognition today and from now on. But congratulations to both of y'all institutions for actually, for winning y'all championship games today. Hopefully, y'all have much success in the playoffs and the D2 ranks, and all the other schools that are going to be qualified to go to the playoffs in the D2 ranks. Hopefully, y'all be able to, y'all prosper and get down to playing football and show America what type of football y'all play in those ranks. Again, shout out to Jackson State coming up with a 27-13 victory against Alabama A&M. Even though it was ugly, we won the game. Now we get ready to play the Soul Bowl against Alcorn. I got to see what time that comes around, but I know it's Saturday. It's gonna be jumping. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be all that and bag of chips. Hopefully, if I can get GSPN on the show. I could get Swack and the Fool on the show. I'm gonna reach out to him, see what we can do, and make try to make this show a success. FAMU, even though y'all won, that was atrocious play calling. I just had to say it just like that. Congratulations to North Carolina Central for winning the winning the MEAC, being a representative of the MEAC to go to the Celebration Bowl. And all the schools, and also make sure y'all kind of give shout outs to these basketball programs, the HBCU basketball programs. I know Jackson State had a game today against Tulsa. They lost by 4, but it was a good game from what I seen. The women's, I forgot who they played, but I could go back and check again. But let's give these basketball programs the much due recognition that they need. Because we're gonna once the Celebration Bowl ends, we're gonna switch over. We're gonna transition to that basketball, and we're gonna make sure we get into the recruiting too. Because I want to do I ain't gonna say heavy amount of recruiting videos and stuff like that. If you want to do that, Bliss City Podcast got you on that, cover on that. But I want to make sure that we can get certain kids that's on here. I mean, that's being recruited. I can get them on the show, kind of interview them, see where they head at and stuff like that. And we go on there so forth. But as always, make sure y'all like the stream. Make sure you comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast on YouTube right now. But in the meantime, between time, I'm your boy Doc Holiday. This is HBCU Overdrive, the live post-game show. Make sure that you be blessed, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.